the complex disorder of arthritis pain and how to relieve from it. 1 in 3 adults in the United States currently suffer from chronic joint symptoms or arthritis. Arthritis is a complex disorder that has more than 100 conditions. The common symptom, persistent joint pain and inflammation. Osteoarthritis, OA, is the most common form. 21 million adults suffer with OA in the United States. It is associated with either an injury or unusual stress to that joint, usually from a work-related repetitive injury or physical trauma. Also known as wear and tear, OA is an erosion of the cartilage that normally envelops the ends of the bones in the joint. They begin to rub together causing pain. Damaged joint tissue can cause the release of a substance called prostaglands, which also contributes to the pain and swelling. As the cartilage wears away, the joint may lose its normal shape. The bone ends thicken and the bone at the edge of the joint may grow outward and form bony spurs. Fluid-filled cysts may form in the bone near the joint and bits of bone or cartilage may float loosely in the joint space causing severe pain. Rheumatoid arthritis, RA, affects many joints and in some other body parts as well, including the blood, lungs and heart. It can cause inflammation of the tear glands, salivary glands and the lining of the heart and lungs. You may also suffer with fatigue, occasional fevers, morning stiffness, muscle aches, loss of appetite and weakness. RA is an inflammation of the joint lining, called the synovium. The affected joint may lose its shape, resulting in the loss of normal movement. RA affects 2.1 million Americans. The disease is 2 to 3 times more common in women than men, and younger children can develop RA as well. RA is an autoimmune disease. This means that the body's natural immune system attacks healthy joint tissues, initiating a process of inflammation and joint damage. RA can cause joint destruction in as little as 1 to 2 years after the onset. The bones of the joint erode causing pain and deformity. Tendons become inflamed and may tear apart. With RA, white blood cells that are part of the normal immune system travel to the synovium and cause it to become inflamed. During this inflammation, the cells of the synovium grow and divide abnormally. The abnormal cells begin to invade and destroy the cartilage and bone within the joint. The surrounding muscles, ligaments and tendons that support the joint become weak and unable to work normally. All these effects lead to the pain and deformities seen in RA. Long-term joint inflammation will affect the ability to perform daily tasks. Early diagnosis can minimize pain and disability. Scientists just recently found a common link between the major chronic diseases. They believe it to be low-level chronic inflammation. They have not linked it to all diseases but a vast majority, such as arthritis, diabetes, heart disease, cancer, Alzheimer's and a long list of others. Our bodies are brilliantly designed. When there is any type of injury, trauma or disease, no matter what the action is, there is a reaction from our body to protect and heal itself, inflammation. We need inflammation in order to heal. Its basic function is to make the tiny vessels in our tissue become larger so the white blood cells, that normally don't fit, can now squeeze into these small spaces and begin the healing process. Other cells help control the inflammation response and others stop any bleeding. Sometimes the inflammation response becomes angry and instead of helping the body it turns on itself creating chronic inflammation. Inflammation starts with the COX-2 enzyme. COX-1 preserves platelet function, needed for blood clotting, and protects the stomach lining. COX-2 causes inflammation and pain. COX-2 has been found in brain and spinal cord tumors as well as in the brains of Alzheimer's patients causing degeneration of the brain tissue from the inflammation. There are several forms of arthritis such as bursitis, gout, fibromyalgia, scleroderma and many more. They are all linked to inflammation and the COX-2 enzyme. When the COX-2 enzyme was discovered, an inhibitor was needed. Medications such as Vioxx, now off the market due to side effects, and Celebrex were created, superaspirins with super side effects. What are the most common side effects of Celebrex? Indigestion, diarrhea, and abdominal pain. More serious side effects are, chance of serious heart problems, such as heart attacks or strokes, which can lead to death. Stomach and intestinal problems, such as bleeding and ulcers, can occur without warning and may cause death. The best solution is the discovery of a natural food source that inhibits the inflammation and pain problems that are associated with COX-2 without disturbing the COX-1 that is critical in protecting the stomach lining and the blood's ability to clot. The Southeast Asians have been eating and using a fruit called mangosteen for centuries to treat all types of ailments. Scientists have been studying the mangosteen fruit for the last 20 years. They are in agreement with the Southeast Asian people that it heals without side effects. The mangosteen fruit decreases the level of COX-2 in your body. Some inflammation occurs at the injury site, but it is controlled and less severe. Mangosteen can aid in the healing process. It helps to ensure that the inflammation doesn't turn into chronic inflammation, which then leads to chronic disease. Mangosteen can aid those people that are already suffering with chronic disease such as arthritis in much the same way. Mangosteen can relieve the swelling of inflammation and inhibit the COX-2 enzyme that causes pain. How life would change without chronic pain. How does mangosteen do this? One word: xanthones. Xanthones can only be found in nature. They have been widely studied for their medicinal properties. Xanthones support microbiological balance, sustain the immune system, improve joint movement and support mental health. Xanthones are stable, supercharged antioxidants. The aloe vera plant contains 1 xanthone while the mangosteen fruit contains to date, and identified 41. The number keeps growing as they are discovered, and these xanthones are diverse in their abilities to help heal the body. The mangosteen fruit contains the highest number of xanthones ever found in one food.